grab that email, say, hey, a little birdie told me, and by little birdie, I mean my image hosting site, said you were downloading photos. I wanted to see if there's anything I can do for you. Did you find everything you need? Are there any projects we might be able to assist you with?
Yeah.
Either way, hope you're well. Thanks again. Boom, 60 seconds.
Yeah.
What if that brings you a 5-figure project or even a 4-figure project?
Right?
Right?
Yeah.
A wedding couple pays you once.
A corporate client pays you for years or even decades.
It's time to leverage your creativity, knowledge, and experience in a whole new market.
Hi, I'm Don.
I'm Emily.
And we're the Mamones.
Welcome to Hocus-Focus.
The magic behind your wildly successful studio.
We've spent the last 20 years building a system to dominate the corporate market.
So we could exceed our clients' expectations from Dallas to destinations around the world.
Now we're sharing all of our secrets with you.
So you can build a life and business you truly want, doing what you really love. Okay, on with the show.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
It really worked out perfectly because we were going to talk today about customer retention and loyalty. And yesterday we celebrated 17 years married.
Yep, 19 years together.
Which is super convenient because we met in the summer and got married in the summer 2 years later.
July.
And so, yeah, it makes it really easy because we can always just do the math real fast. Whereas a lot of times people meet at one point and get married at another. But thanks for choosing me every single day. One of the things I made a note of is that life, when you're married to someone and in business with someone and all the things we do together, it's basically an active choice, in my opinion, to choose somebody every day.
Absolutely.
So
thanks for choosing me too, babe.
well, we said I do 17 years ago, but I don't know. There's just part of me that feels like every morning when you wake up, you say, I still do.
Yes. And the day you came out, I re-chose you, right?
Yeah, you did. It's a really special. Wow. I didn't know we were going to go so deep so fast.
I know.
Thank you for that. Yeah. I count it among one of my most grateful moments was realizing that when you met the real me, the authentic me, the person that I knew I always got to be, you said, I still do, or I do again, or however you want to say it.
I like to say from Friends, you're my lobster.
Yeah. Yeah, we can hold claws and crawl around in the tank together. I think that so much of our successful relationship is rooted in so many wonderful things, but I think loyalty is a good one.
Absolutely.
I feel like loyalty is representative of that choice of still choosing, I do again, whatever the case is. And when we apply that to business and you and I talk about it, something that is unique about business to business corporate work is every person is a potential lead or referral source, but so many people are actual clients. Whereas when you're in the wedding world, it's really only 2 people that are getting married.
Yeah.
That's your ideal kind of avatar, and then you can drill down from there. But we started to learn that repeat and loyal business was a really big deal. Recurring revenue changed our business model because instead of having to find new clients every single time, one of the biggest pain points of weddings is they get married.
Yeah.
And there's really not a lot of future potential.
Well, you might have a few of their friends or a sibling.
Right.
But after that kind of age group moves on,
Yeah.
it's kind of done. And you get referrals from your wedding planner.
Well,
but
thank you for helping me with my words. But I'm trying to clarify that, like, there's a ton of referral opportunity in the wedding world, but there's not a lot of repeat business in the wedding world. And what that means is if Joan and their soon-to-be spouse meet you and they get married, they're not going to come back typically and be like, hey, we're getting married again.
Yeah.
Maybe in 15 or 20 years, they do a vow renewal. Hey, by the way, we should do a vow renewal.
20 years coming
Maybe
up.
a 20 year.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's exciting to think about. Like right around the corner. Okay. But so there's just not a lot of repeat business, tons of referral business, right? You got a couple and their sister, brother, cousin, whoever gets married and enjoyed your work. Wedding planners, unbelievable, wonderful, very loyal referral source. But for us, when we moved into corporate America for photography services, we just started to see that repeat business get generated. And today we're just going to talk somewhat briefly about how to do that.
Yeah.
How to maintain a relationship with the client. Because just because they're doing events over and over again, just because they have different departments and just because they have different needs, doesn't mean they'll necessarily come back to you. You hope that it's seamless. You hope that they are like, oh my gosh, the Mamones are amazing. We won't use anybody else for anything else. But sometimes you have to stay in their face and top of mind.
Yeah.
I have one line that I use. I don't know if you remember it, but it's one of my favorites. Anytime we're done with a client that we work with here in Dallas, both if we're in person and on site, or if at the end of the email chain, once images are delivered and we're getting ready to kind of quote sign off, I say, hey, listen, it's been a real pleasure to work with you. And please don't wait till you come back to Dallas. We serve our loyal clients from Dallas to destinations all around the world, and we would love to help you with any of your needs that you have. I can't even calculate how much money that's made us.
Yes. And most of the time, people don't want to think hard about their next photographer in the next city. So a lot of the times our corporate clients, they move their yearly meetup all around the United States. And so a lot of times we are blessed to pick them up here in Dallas because it's the central location. But then it starts to move. So they might, well, we're going to Orlando next year. And when Don says this, they're like, oh, I didn't know you travel. Yes. And they take us with them because they don't want to have to sit there and rebook. They don't want to, deal with new contracts and all that stuff where they already know what they're getting from us. And so,
once you exceed their expectations, the idea of them having to like roll the dice, establish another relationship, micromanage a new artist, making sure they're going to get exactly what they want. There is value at the corporate level, especially in them being able to say, hey, this year we're going to be in Denver.
Yeah.
Let us know what the flights are. We booked you a room. You eat with the staff. It'll be wonderful. We'll all be a team, and just do what you did last year.
Yeah.
When that's the planning from start to finish, think about the management time it saves. Yeah. Think about the stress it alleviates. And so that one line, hey, it's been a pleasure to work with you.
Yeah.
Please don't wait till you come back to Dallas. We're happy to work with you anywhere around the world, has made us so much money. And on our side, there's an old adage that people say in the sales and customer service world. It's easier and cheaper to keep your current client than it is to find a new one.
Right.
Now, that's not always possible because not everybody does a multi-year event.
Yeah.
And not everybody has multiple divisions and everything. Sometimes it is a one and done. But when you think about the fact that in the wedding world, every client is one and done, this is a pretty big shift. Yeah. And for me, it was the difference in revenue ceiling that didn't exist or was much more, it was much more attainable to break through it.
Yeah.
Because we've done the math with some folks and, kind of middle to top end of the wedding market, even if you're making $10,000 a wedding and doing 20 weddings, that's $200,000 at the end of the year. If you take all of your expenses out, that's great. It'll make you a living, but it won't typically scale.
Right.
And that's a very special word, I think, when it comes to a service provider, is scalability. How can I make more money with less effort? How can I kind of keep the flywheel going without having to start from scratch?
This applies to many, many people. So they do, once that client picks up a planner and they take their planner with them, their video team, production teams, right? They're like, I don't want to deal with this. And so we all start to meet each other at these events all over the world sometimes. And you're like, oh, hey, it's catching up with the family because the client sees value in that, right?
Yeah.
So very, very cool.
We get notes that are fun and quirky, like, hey, let's get the band back together.
Yeah.
Right. And you'll find out that the production team, the video team, the photography team, entertainment, all those folks are kind of moving from project to project. And the cool thing is too, once you endear yourself and prove yourself to the different sort of wheels in the machine, the gears and the mechanisms, new client for a production company, but the production company's worked with you on this old client and they're like, oh my gosh, they were exceptional, right? We loved working with them over here. Why wouldn't we love working with them over there? So
I always love that here in Dallas too, because they'll be like, hey, the production teams that and we all kind of do a specialized thing. And so you get to see them many times a year. You just never know what projects you'll pop up on. And so it's, like you said, bringing the band back together, elements. So.
And it's fun because it's a way to also pay back the people that have been so loyal to you.
Yeah.
And so we'll make recommendations and people that are looking for a DJ, for example. In fact, recently we weren't the one that was able to give the referral, although we of course would have. We were working on an event at the Omni downtown Dallas. It was a huge 4-day event for an insurance association. And so we were hired by the production team to capture their in-house media, which was really super fun because it was a totally different perspective. Instead of capturing the event, we were capturing what was created for the event.
Yeah.
So it's just like...
That was really hard for me because I'm so used to focusing on people and reactions to... They wanted a little bit of the reactions, but they wanted the setup. They wanted to show the scale of people, but not the individual
people,
right? And so it was fun. It was a cool experience.
But it's a psychological shift when you're presenting a body of work to a company that created the backdrop and the fun and the engagement and the excitement,
branding,
the stage build out, the video village behind stage, all that. Our whole job in this situation, that was the primary responsibility, and show people having fun and show the scale of it. We did drone footage and cut together a reel. It was exceptional, our video team, but it was fun. And so we were walking into the ballroom where they were doing this huge gala, and they had lights going already, and they were testing out the lights, and we peeked through and we're like, "Is that Andy? White shirt, skinny tie, hat. That has to be Andy." And we walked across the ballroom, and Andy Austin, a preeminent DJ here in Dallas, was the entertainment for the night. And I thought, it's just so fun. It's so fun to have.
It's fun to see your friends pop up here and there and just do what they do really awesomely. So,
and ironically, he is a very celebrated wedding DJ, but does corporate as well. It was kind of in that hybrid place where he does both. And we were just talking at the time, because he knows we don't really do weddings anymore at all. And he said, I can see why you love it. Yeah. Right. He was called last minute. It was a lucrative project for a very short window of time. It was his responsibility to just kind of run the room, play music. He brought in some live music artists that were going to walk in a stage in the middle of a round room. I mean, it's what he's good at, which is controlling a room and knowing what to play and when to play it, like so many DJs are. But it was, we were just talking about how the vibe is different, the feel is different, the workload is different, the emotional stuff is different.
It's a Wednesday night.
It was a Wednesday night, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that we've talked about it, I think it's important that we talk a little bit about how to do it. And I've got two things that you and I talked about. I want to talk about one, and then I want you to kind of talk about the other. So the first one is kind of a continuation of what I talked about last week, which is this kind of digital connection. I'm a relationship marketer. I like shaking hands. I like hugging. I like looking someone in the eye and having conversations. And it's not always possible.
Right.
I mean, you and I are busy. We travel a ton. We've got Frankie. And so I don't get out on the scene as much as I'd like to. And so when I was talking to the people in the program recently, I gave them some examples of how easy, I'm using the podcast air quotes.
Really quickly, what's the program? If this is somebody's first
in case you just dialed in. So we created the corporate client capture system, which helps social portrait and wedding photographers shift over and either add or go all the way in on corporate photography, business to business corporate photography. So instead of business to client, it's business to business. And it's foreign when you think about couples and you think about individuals, and that's your whole business model. And now you're like, company, I'm dealing with a company. It takes a massive knowledge shift. So you and I have said that.
Worked with contracts.
Yeah, you got to learn to deal with all this stuff.
Brand assessments, things like that.
Yeah, and so all of this stuff transfers, but the knowledge base is a fairly big gap. But you can close that gap, and once you do, everything changes. Yeah. There's just massive recurring revenue and business opportunity. So anyway, thank you for that.
Sorry.
No, don't ever apologize for reminding me that some people might have just listened to this episode for the first time. I was talking to them and I said, listen, it seems really hard. It seems really awkward. It seems like it's maybe a difficult, heavy lift to find ways in which to stay in their face and top of mind, but it's really not. And so LinkedIn is one that I use frequently.
Yeah.
I spend a little time on there largely every day, and I just see where my people are. Mm-hmm. Who's moved from one hotel to another, who's changed jobs, who's celebrating a milestone. A lot of production companies and different corporate event professionals post their events online. And sometimes we're at the event.
Right.
And I'm on LinkedIn before we even get started talking about how amazing the event is. Other times we aren't on the event because maybe it's not being photographed or it just wasn't the right fit. I'm still in there saying like, hey, good job, or hey, you're going to crush it on site.
Yeah.
Having massive FOMO, wish we were there with you on this one as well, that kind of thing. In their face, top of mind. And then I always say, don't reach out to someone unless you have a reason to reach out to them. And so I work really hard to create reasons.
Right.
And so I'll set a reminder. And when I know something's happening, based on conversations we've had, I'll set a reminder to send an email, because whatever the thing is happening, if we're talking and I know when their kid's birthday is,
yeah.
If we're talking and I know that they went to a certain school, right? Like Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know, the UT here in Texas, right? Huge, yeah. Right? If I know that they went to a school and it's the rivalry weekend between UT and OU, I'll send a note.
Yeah.
Rooting for your team today. I don't really watch football, but I'm still rooting for them and their team, right?
Yeah. And
so any opportunity you can have to stay authentically and genuinely in their face and top of mind, it's something worth doing. I snooze emails. An email that came in that was something that happened. This was a big one. I snooze emails for lost business.
Yeah.
If there's something that when we get a lead on a project, it's not within their budget. That again, nobody has 100% conversion rate. Maybe it's not a good fit, whatever. I still snooze that email. And probably about a week before, if it's a few days before, it's a nuisance and they're on site already. But about a week before, I send a note that says, hey, listen, even though we didn't have the opportunity to work with you on this project, I really wish you the best. I know it's a heavy lift, sending you good mojo and juju and all the things. The number of times people have been like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you remembered. Oh my gosh, this is so fun. We become like pen pals. Yeah. It has a fun element to it. One more, and then I'm gonna have you tear loose on one of our favorites.
Where do you find most of the communication with people?
It's always on email or it's on LinkedIn. Sometimes other social media platforms. Like I focus on LinkedIn because it's professional and it's connection driven. Okay. Sometimes Facebook, although I typically don't friend or connect with someone on Facebook unless we've worked with them so many times or unless they ask for me. For me, Facebook is more of a personal social media. It's where you connect with friends, associates, but not like acquaintances. Yeah. LinkedIn, it's much more expected that if I meet somebody professionally, if I've had the pleasure of working with them once or twice, when you connect with somebody on LinkedIn.
So many people don't think about LinkedIn. And so last week, Don dropped a new product. Yeah. Tell our first-time listeners what that might be.
Yeah, so the LinkedIn playbook is basically a 41-page document that literally walks you through. First, it destroys a myth that LinkedIn is boring, LinkedIn is useless, LinkedIn is a bunch of
LinkedIn is just for headshots.
LinkedIn is just for headshots
job updates.
And it's like, I don't know. I think LinkedIn gets a bad rap. The cold DMs from people trying to sell you stuff does get a bit out of control, but I typically just scan them and say no thank you or ignore them if I feel like they're exceptionally spammy. But I think a lot of people are intimidated by LinkedIn because they're like, oh my God, it's just another social media network and it's just too much work.
Yeah.
I don't know where to start. And it has different elements. It's very similar to the other sites, but it's different elements. And so this walks you through the elements. It talks to you about all the different technical and strategic ways to maximize and optimize. And if you want a copy of it, you can go get it at theMamones.com/playbook. LinkedIn is one of the only places other than Google and YouTube that's made us money.
Yeah.
Because I think it's really hard to tie ROI to other social media sites.
Yeah. Back in the day, we got a little bit of action from Pinterest when we were doing weddings.
Because it's a social media site, but also a search engine.
Yeah.
And so we did book a bride and a groom that were getting married at a venue in South Lake because they searched their venue and a bunch of our photos came up, which is what you want, right?
Yeah.
Like you love that.
So little tidbit for those photographers that are still in the
if you're still in the wedding market and you're not posting your photos on Pinterest, go do that.
Yep.
For sure. A good moment to identify the difference between a social media site and a search engine, right?
Yeah.
Pinterest, YouTube, Google, those are all search engines, right? You can put stuff out there and somebody can go search. You can search on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, but it's not intended for that purpose. And so typically,
you'll eventually get some information.
If you dig real deep, you might get what you're looking for. But it's much more for presentation and for expiring content. You share something, and somebody's like, "Oh, that's really interesting," and you can grow a following, and you can adapt them and say, "Hey, if you want to come follow us here or there," it's like a network, a web of connections. But those search engines, YouTube, Google, and Pinterest, are really valuable for putting your stuff out there and having people search for you. So typically the communications are LinkedIn and email. The last one that kind of blew their mind was if you use a product like Pixie Set or Shoot Proof. I mean, as a photographer, you typically have to find a way to send your files to clients
in this digital world.
Yeah, in the digital world, you typically don't send a USB stick. In weddings, we actually did provide digital media, but for corporate, it's always download, right? Like I haven't made a physical product in a long time. When people log in, we have it protected, so we know who's logging into different things. Mm-hmm. I have sent emails to clients when they log in, and I say, "Hey, I saw you poking around your gallery. I hope you enjoy viewing them as much as we enjoyed taking them.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we've had the pleasure of working with you. Please let us know if there's anything we can do." We've booked business off those emails.
Yeah.
We have literally booked business because people are like, you know what? Now that I think about it, this would be a great project for you.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't. It's not a win-win every time. But sometimes they'll just write back and be like, "Oh my gosh, thanks for writing me. Thanks for offering assistance."
Yeah.
Whatever the case is. But again, it is a way in which you can take a minute to grab that email, say, "Hey, a little birdie told me," and by little birdie, I mean my image hosting site, said you were downloading photos. I wanted to see if there's anything I can do for you. Did you find everything you need? Are there any projects we might be able to assist you with?
Yeah.
Either way, hope you're well. Thanks again. Boom, 60 seconds. Yeah. What if that brings you a 5-figure project or even a 4-figure project?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
This is the last one. You remember, it was a late October, many years ago.
Many moons ago.
We came up with an idea, like, how do we show our clients?
Just a little tidbit real quick. Don likes to do things that are punny and snarky. And so it's a daily occurrence in the Mamone household. Now Frankie rolls her eyes.
Yes.
But you came up with this idea and I was like, "Oh, this is awesome."
I came with the idea. You ran with it though.
Yeah.
So I wanted to come up with a clever idea so that we could show our clients how much we appreciate them.
Yes.
Part of this came from self-service providers. I know you're probably like, where does this stuff come from in your head? It always bothered me that like cable and internet and self-service providers were always like, "Hey, come over and we're going to give you this and this and this and this. Like leave your company that you're working with and come over here."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Well, I've been with you for 10 years and you don't give me anything." And so there was very little to reward loyalty in that space.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Hey, we send nice emails and we send, Christmas notes or holiday notes. We do all this stuff. What can we do to level it up?" And so I sat down and I was like, our clients rock. They're so great. Oh my gosh. And then I was like, well, why don't we just tell them that? why don't we just tell our clients that they're rock stars and that we love them? And then we started mapping it out, and then you went to town on it.
Yes. So we made client appreciation gifts. Nothing too crazy, but
it was crazy.
It was crazy.
Nothing like elaborate. It was simple and elegant, but
I
it was
mean,
crazy.
we're a little crazy,
We're a little crazy.
right? Yeah. So what we did is we made gift baskets, and it had to do with everything why our clients rock. So we did pop rocks. We had
Skinny pop,
We, anything to do with kind of a musical
ring pops,
element.
because we were still doing
yes.
weddings at the time.
Yep. The whole basket was filled with things of that sort. And I painted custom made pet rocks.
So we went out and found we bought a bunch and found a bunch of
River stone smooth
rocks and put them in little containers.
Yes. And painted
And
them.
Emily painstakingly colored them, painted them, and put googly eyes on them.
Yeah.
And I think together, again, it's why we just do so well in our strength buckets. I had come up with the idea. She creatively just blew it out of the park. And then I started thinking, as a marketer, how can we create ways to make this next level?
Yeah.
So I think we did 20 or 25 of our most loyal clients and referral sources in Dallas.
Yeah.
I think, just to talk budget, I think each of the baskets cost us around $10.
Yeah.
For the bucket or the basket and all the little items in it. And so multiply that 20 times $20, like $400 or $500 worth of marketing dollars. And then
we made some literature.
Yeah, we made some handouts to give them to thank them. And then we dressed up like rock stars.
Yes.
So we looked like, I would say, I guess maybe like Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, Axl Rose and
wigs
Slash.
and we bought the tattoo sleeves with big bracelets and had guy liner at the time. Now I just wear makeup, but we really went all out, and then we created a campaign about the pet rocks.
Yes.
And what we did was we dropped them off. We introduced them to their pet rock.
We did.
And we said, here's what we would love to do. Let's all take a picture together. And then we would love for you to tell the story of your pet rock online and tag us in it so we can share it.
Once you've picked your name,
name your pet rock, give it a little backstory.
Yeah.
And I mean, this was probably close to 10 years ago. Actually, it had been over 10 years because Frankie wasn't around yet.
Yeah.
So it was probably 12 years ago. And it went gangbusters.
It did.
So of those 20 people, everybody did multiple posts about their pet rock.
Yeah.
Everybody named their pet rock. Everybody gave their pet rock a backstory. And when, people in the events and hospitality industry are incredibly creative.
Yeah.
Like massive backstory.
It was great.
It was so fun. Like they must have sat down as teams and created where they came from, the things that they'd overcome. They gave them, some people gave them a title.
Yeah.
Some people printed little business cards for their, it went gangbusters.
It was very well received.
It was incredibly well received.
We had somebody reach out not too long ago and send us a picture of their pet rock that still lives on their desk. And so what an honor.
Yeah. And it was, these are the things that
we put like a little top hat on the pet rock.
Each of them had like a little quirky personality that we designed. So when we went to the mansion on Turtle Creek, it was very fancy.
Yeah.
I want to say you made like a little monocle for it or something. And then when we went somewhere, it's like the House of Blues. It was like a pet rock star. So each one of them had their own little personality. But I think that it's worth noting that when you're in this world of trying to get people's attention, this is the type of thing that gets people's attention, because they'll never forget the person that came and dropped off a pet rock.
And then still has the rock
dressed
on their desk.
Yeah.
And we did, people just, they're like, why these Mamones are crazy. And we showed up in full costume and it was at the beginning of October.
Yeah.
And
it was around Halloween.
Rocktober. I think we
called it Rocktober. 100%. We called it Rocktober, and we said our clients rock. And the last thing for me that came up now is we also visited other photographers.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. So Simon, who was our lead associate and was really getting into establishing their own brand, but also continuing to support us, we stopped by and gave him one because, again, collaboration over competition. We wanted him to know that all the times that we've worked together, all the ways in which we've partnered was was a joy and a pleasure. And I mean, we've had some good times with Simon.
Yeah.
Long trips, grueling projects.
Riding scooters in Nashville
All over the
late
city.
at night,
Yep.
freezing our buns off.
Before a project.
What a great experience. There's lots and lots of stories in there with Simon.
Yeah. So the moral of the story for this week's episode is, of course, that the old adage of it is cheaper and easier to keep your current client than it is to find a new one is worth talking about, because loyalty scores, loyalty evaluation, it's important.
Yeah.
And so
And showing that you appreciate those people.
and appreciation and gratitude is huge. And so I want all the creatives out there to put on your business operator hat and think about the fact that if you asked your client for the same or similar amount of money, would you go work with another studio, or would you remain with insert name of brand here? That's a measurement of loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
And it's what we did in hospitality. For the same, right, or similar money, would you continue to work here?
Yeah.
For the same or similar money, would you host your event here? Would you stay here? It was always that concept of, if you were given an alternative, would you take it?
Right.
And I'm honored to say that most people would say, even if it cost us more, we would still stay here.
Yeah.
Even if it was a little bit more, we would do this. And that is such a huge barometer of what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because it's the person saying, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, podcast air quotes again, and I'm going to stay here because I appreciate this. So what wonderful ideas of the day-to-day.
Yeah.
Right? Like, hey, this is how you can show loyalty or show appreciation for loyalty day-to-day. And then, like, when you're feeling it, and it's right now, July. So whenever you're listening to this, if you're listening live, you got a couple months to get ready for Rocktober.
Yeah.
And you can borrow our idea. And if you're listening to it another time of the year, put your hat on. There's all kinds of fun things like Fall in Love with Us all over again. Mm-hmm. Rocktober. These are all things. Bling in the new year.
Yeah.
We have done campaigns every year, all the time, to encourage new people to find us, but also to reward and thank the people that have stuck with us. And so thank you for sticking with me for 19 years.
I know.
And so I guess on the horizon, we want to know your story.
Yes.
Share with us something about you, your personal life, your journey, your loved one, in your business. Maybe tell us who one of your favorite loyal clients are.
Yeah.
Who do you work with all the time? Who is it that
or your creative way of showing how you appreciate that client too. Yeah. Right? We'd love to hear that.
All right. And then the last call to action, of course, is if you want a copy of the LinkedIn playbook, go to themamones.com/playbook. Subscribe, share, love. I don't know.
Yeah.
Take us out of it.
There you go.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Bye.
You're creative, you're knowledgeable, and you've got all the experience and professional gear you'll need.
It's time to leverage it all in a whole new market full of loyal clients.
Remember, it's not about more, it's about different and better.
Hit subscribe, leave us a review, so other creatives can find their way to us on Hocus-Focus.
Join us next week for more magic behind your wildly successful studio.
I'm Don.
I'm Emily.
Thanks for listening.